Welcome to the Stone and Wood post show at the Bioglan Newcastle SURFEST presented by Bonsoy. 40 years we're celebrating of this competition. Long road for a couple of winners, qualifiers. A lot went down at Merriweather this past week, and we're gonna celebrate those moments on this Stone and Wood post show. Richie Lovett, good to have you, mate.
Thanks, Skypes. I feel like I need therapy after this week. It's been so intense.
Jesse Starling, been loving your work all week.
Thanks.
And I'm going to start with you, Jess. Your thoughts of everything that went down this week.
Well, I actually am going to join Rich in that therapy session because it's been an absolute roller coaster. Honestly, it's been so many highs and so many lows, but it's been just so cool to see all the qualification stories. I think it's been a really long year for these guys, and to come back here and know, everything at stake and see those guys rise to the occasion. It's kind of got me more amped up to see the CT start again. So, yeah, a lot of highs for me in the qualification stories.
I get it. I mean, it was tears and cheers. Choose your side right there, depending upon your result. Your thoughts on this week, Rich?
Mate, super impressed. Competitively, I think everyone lifted and stepped up. There was so much going on, and we saw a lot of underdog stories. We saw a lot of people coming through for their first Challenger Series attempt and really rising to the occasion. And then we just saw some true grit and determination coming through. So stoked to see Alyssa Spencer get the win. That was a real brave victory for her. She was in, she was out, back in again. She had to fight for it. And then, obviously, we just saw Alister Reginato. That's a dream come true for him. And I reckon that is the little springboard that's just going to shoot him into surfing superstardom.
Love it. Well, we had two qualifiers today. We had reason to celebrate for Anat Leilior and Liam O'Brien. Let's check these moments out.
Cheers, bro. Good luck.
Yeah, Lobby back on tour is exactly what we wanted to see. It's the perfect way to round out this week. And then, of course, the emotion right now from Anat Leilior. I mean, for her and Liam, it was an agonising couple of days just to see kind of everyone go through, winning heats, people that they would really hope were probably going to lose out, but they got the job done. And they're on to the championship tour and did it in a way that no one wants to do it with their fate out of their hands. But I think they're both obviously Lobby going back to the tour, but I think Anat also a really great addition to the Women's Championship Tour.
Yeah, I love it. Let's take a look at, for the women's side, let's take a look at all of our qualifiers that are going to join the CTers just a couple weeks from now. Tya Zebrowski taking out the title.
Yeah, it's a pretty impressive class, isn't it? And Tya Zebrowski leading the charge. The youngest ever in history to qualify for the Championship Tour. And Yolanda Hopkins, she's going to be a welcome newcomer to the tour. Sally, obviously returning. She's been on the tour for ages. Great to see Sal back in the mix. Alyssa Spencer, she's had a crack at it as well. And what's going on in Europe at the moment?
A lot.
It's a lot happening, huh? Francisca Vasilko, Nadia Aristabe, and Anat Leilior rounding things out. But an incredible 7 there that are going to join the tour.
Just the men's. Kauli Vaast taking out the title for the Challenger Series. But look at the Australians on this list.
So good. I could not be more stoked for the Aussies. Obviously, Morgs. I think everyone wanted to see him back on that tour. Georgie Pitter, he's back there as well. Cal, he's back there as well. But a big one for me, Oscar, he's one of my best mates, and to see him do that, have his family here, it's really cool to see, exactly what a year can do for someone, and obviously a lot of emotion in that for Matthias Hurdy. But good news for 5-1, they completely surpassed that first round. So Cal, Luke, Oz, Matthias and Lobby, they've got a whole extra heat they need to surf on the championship tour.
Great that you brought that up. Just later in this post show, we are going to go through that new format that we're having, and you're exactly right. On the men's side, off the Challenger Series, 1 through 5, seeded into the second round. There's going to be a first round, and every single heat's going to have consequence there when we get back to the CT. We're going to talk a little bit more about that on the post show, but let's talk about Alister Reginato, Rich, and his road to victory here.
Yeah, pretty rad this morning. I'm not sure if he woke up thinking, I'm going to be the champ at this. He was probably thinking, I've made the quarters. This is a good result. Let's see how far we can go. But he got over Finn McGill this morning, and then the semi-final against Dakoda Walters, that was the one that I think where everyone was perhaps going, Dakota's so light-footed and really suited to these conditions. But, mate, he just went blow for blow, air for air with Dakoda and came away the winner. The winner is, we look at the conditions this morning, a bit smoother, but mate, this is what he did from the start. Just took to the air and then got some really nice turns done down the line.
I love it for Alister. I feel like, he's not known as an air guy. He's a power surfer. And now he's just kind of showcasing he has the total package. He can go to the air. He obviously surfs good on rail, and this is just that perfect body talk that we're kind of referencing to. He just really opens up the wingspan, drives through it. But, that semi-final against Dakoda, I was thinking, Alister's kind of on the back foot for that one. But he genuinely out-aired Dakoda. It was actually really interesting to see. And this is exactly the heat he did it in.
And that's, no easy task. And have a look at this. I just love how corked out. And he gets that board, really vertical in those airs, which is a point of difference that we've seen this week. And I've just worked it out. He kind of reminds me, similar style to Nate Florence. In the stance and the arm movement, I can see shades of it in there, but I think it was at this point where he probably started entertaining the thought, hey, I might be able to win this thing.
I love that shot, the pan from the Aussie flag into a very focused Alister Reginato, and it's obviously scary to come up against an air guy like Coates, but then to come up against a gold medalist and then, still stick to that air game and just kept getting more inverted. It had such critical looking airs under his belt here, and to finish off with a big 8-point ride as well, just kind of sealing the deal on what was a very convincing win here for Alister Reginato. Again, similar to what we saw from Ziggy, just like a full underdog story, and I'm such a sucker for an underdog story. So Alister, real deserving win right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jess, how you said that he's not really known as an air guy?
He is now.
That highlight reel
Sure.
has proven us wrong, and Alister Reginato is now known as an air guy.
He out-aired Dakoda Walters in that semi-final heat. Here we go. And look at Jess. Not only did he win the final, he did it in excellent fashion. 16-point heat total.
Oh, and I love it. 867, 733. I think Alister, he's probably just as, he's probably shocked at this point. He probably came into this thinking, yeah, just another Challenger Series. I'll take it, just experience it before the next season starts. But he's gone and he's won it. And you said, you feel like it's going to skyrocket him into the season. I agree. He was surfing like a CT surfer then. And I think, in this next coming year, he should really battle for one of those spots. Yeah,
in a variety of conditions, right, had to get it done. On the women's side, it's been a couple of big days for Alyssa Spencer. She was on the edge of qualification. She did that, and then, Rich, she went and won the whole thing.
Yeah, it was really cool. It hasn't been an easy road for her, but coming up against Ziggy McKenzie, she would have been going into that final with a lot more experience and with a lot more kind of confidence, I'm going to say. But, Alyssa Spencer, the semi-final against Tya Zebrowski, I feel like everyone would have been going, I think Tya's got this. She's been so in form. She's got the big turns, but Alyssa just stuck to her guns and with some just, real textbook surfing on the backhand and some clean rails. She got the wins and went all the way to the final and the victory.
Yeah. The word that really comes to mind is classy. She's just such a classy surfer. Obviously, the world's got to, get used to that strong backhand surfing, but she also gave us some really big moments on her front side as well, jamming that tail. It looked incredible under her feet, this board, and from the very first start of the day, she just looked free and ready to go.
Yeah, that was the win this morning up against Sarah Baum. Then semi-finals up against Tya Zebrowski. We were talking about this, Rich.
Yeah, well, she put a bit of spice on that first turn, and you could see she was like, okay, I'm going to have to really put some good surfing together, which she did. Wave choice impeccable. Choice of manoeuvres precise. Positioning on point. She kind of was ticking all the boxes today, Kipes. And, she was just so consistent. I think that's one of the other things. We hardly ever saw her fall, if at all. So she found these little connectors all the way through. and just finishing every wave off in a real solid way.
You know, she'd be feeling that in her legs too. That lactic acid would be building up. She was getting 5-6 turns done consistently on her waves, and then going into the final, you could be rattled by a wild card, but she wasn't.
And into the final, we have to acknowledge the tremendous performance of Ziggy Aloha Mackenzie, runner-up here, but it was Alyssa Spencer's day.
Yeah, I just think Liz just found her flow. She found her form. She kept giving herself opportunities. Even one like that, you know, it's only a one big jam, but it was just the story of you got to be on your feet, you got to be catching waves. She stuck to that the entire day, and that's why we're seeing her going home as the winner tonight.
Oh my God.
Big couple of days, and a birthday as well. Hugged by Chris Gallagher, her coach, and she's got a couple of weeks to prepare for the Ripco Pro Bells Beach. Look at the numbers there, Rich.
Yeah, some really healthy heat totals there. And in both the finals, it was quite a convincing win for the winners, wasn't it? Getting a good heat total there, double digits, that's what you want every time. But congratulations to Mackenzie, man. That was a good underdog story as well. She did incredibly well to get all the way through.
I love that. I love that. We've been talking a lot about Alister Reginato. Well, we got to talk more about him because the Boost Mobile heat of the day, two good friends coming up against each other. This is where Alister really started his role, Jess.
Yeah, this is what I said before. Alister out-aired Coates, and Coates is one of the best aerialists in the world. But look at this, just straight into a lofty tweet-out air reverse for Alister Reginato, and then belted it on the inside. He had 2 8s in this heat, and he kind of left Dakoda Walters going, where is he finding these sections? Massive straighty as well. The straighty is never going to go out of fashion. I am a sucker for it. But then Coates answered back so well. 2 air reverses, 1 wave. We haven't seen that, I don't think, since Felipe at J-Bay.
No, he came bouncing back as we knew he would. But Reginato just executing those airs with a little more thud and punch. And he got the win, and that was a big one.
Good friends bring the best out of each other as we take a look at the heat totals. 16.27, Rich. Yeah, 2 excellent waves.
Yeah, Reginato, he's been dropping excellent numbers all week long, and always feels good when you see a 16-point heat total. That means you're doing everything right.
Yeah, and that is his day. He will cherish this memory and go down on an impressive list of past champions celebrating 40 years at this Surf Fest. Well, time for us to look again at the men's CS rankings. It's all settled down now, so it's about the top 10 going into the championship tour, but also there's stakes on 11 through 20 as well for the men's rankings.
Yeah, absolutely. So 11 through 20, they actually automatically qualify for the Challenger Series this year. But this is our top 10, and Liam O'Brien was the last one to squeak in there at number 10. Matthias Hurdy, an emotional roller coaster at number 9.
And Jess, you mentioned how important it is to be in the top 5.
Yeah, it's extremely important because then you completely surpass that first round and you get to already automatically have more points to your name, which is obviously going to help further down the season. It's man-on-man format from the very start in the championship tour. So those top 5 surfers already in that next round. And I just also want to note, Kauli Vaast, he had an incredible year. He's taken out the rankings, and in a really convincing way. He was over 10,000 points ahead of 10th place in Liam O'Brien.
Yeah, pretty incredible year. That just talks to how dominant he's been. And well, this will be his full season. He's had a couple of goes at it on the championship tour as a wild card, but he's going to get the full year now. And here we go, Levi Slauson. Geez, didn't he fight through this whole event and got so close. 1 heat away, he nearly made it. And again, Jacob Wilcox and Dimitri Poulos, they fought well as well. And then you can see 13 all the way down to 20. They've requalified for the Challenger Series, and we'll kick that off in a few months' time.
Yeah, we'll see them on the Challenger Series, and we already have the Challenger Series schedule out on worldsurfleague.com. Check that out. That's when those 11 through 20 are going to go back to work.
And it is work.
It's
really good
work. It's work. Called the Challenger for a reason. Let's take a look at our women's top 10 at the end of the year on the Challenger Series. Tya Zebrowski, what an exciting surfer. Can't wait just to see what she's going to do on the championship tour.
Oh, and go France. You know, they're taking out both men and the women's rankings. Tya Zebrowski, Kauli Vaast, a big win for France, and also Tahiti. Yo-Yo coming to tour this year as well. And then you look all the way down, obviously, Annette Gonzalez Echebarri. She was in that top 7 rolling into this, but unfortunately getting bumped out. So McCulloch, so close. But what we do know is 8 through 12, they requalify for the Challenger Series. So we're going to see those 3 ladies plus Ellie Harrison and Teresa Bonvlot on the Challenger Series for another season.
Yeah, and like I said, they're going to start up all over again, but Championship Tour going, Challenger Series to follow that. It's a whole season that we're looking forward to, and it's just beginning right here at SurfEst. We got a lot to celebrate, 40 years of Newcastle SurfEst, but you know what? Let's make it official. Let's throw it to Ronnie Blakey for our official awards presentation. Take it away, Ron.
Thank you, Kaipo, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The crowds here at Merewether for the Bioglan Newcastle SURFEST presented by Bonsoy always blow our minds. So give yourselves a massive round of applause. You can do better than that. Welcome to the official presentation for Bioglan Newcastle SURFEST presented by Bonsoy. It is the final stop on the 2026 Challenger Series, and we have uncovered some very worthy competitors that will be kicking off their Championship Tour campaigns down at Bells Beach on April 1st. The Rip Curl Pro, we can't wait for that. The final battleground brought us tears. It brought us, obviously, elation, and I'm sure that you all enjoyed watching it all unfold. Merewether bookended the Challenger Series this year. It was so great to kick things off at this venue. We added more amazing champions to the honour roll of this unbelievably prestigious event, and we finished off with new champions here in the final stop. Before I continue, I definitely want to acknowledge, on behalf of World Surf League and SURFEST, the Awabakal people as the traditional custodians of the land and waterways here at Merewether. We pay our respects to Awabakal people, their elders past, present and future, and we extend this acknowledgement and respect to other First Nations people here today and watching on our broadcast. Thank you. Absolutely. What a pristine stretch of coastline, and we are so happy to return here every year. We'd like to extend our sincere gratitude to Bioglan. Please give them a huge round of applause. The title partner for the event this year. So proud to have you involved, and obviously Bonsoy as well, our presenting partner, as well as the Destination New South Wales and City of Newcastle. Fantastic organisations that give us great support to make this event possible. We've got a few other partners that we'd like to thank. Cardiff GWM and Kim Burton, who supported this contest, now extends more than 20 years. Thank you to Kim and Janine for their amazing support. GWM, of course, Red Bull, Stone and Wood, Fat Boy Bikes, Boost Mobile, Bond University, Revere Projects, a local business. Julian Wilson's been hanging around the event this week, competed in the contest. His team did really well, so a big shout out to Revere Projects. We also want to thank the Mutual Bank, Apple Watch, Newcastle Airport, the Beach Hotel, which is going to get absolutely annihilated later on, Newcastle Herald, and Hit 106.9 FM. Thank you very much. This is a very special year. Warren Smith and his team here at SURFEST have been running this event for an incredible 40 years. And this event is so special, not only to this town, but to the fabric of competitive surfing globally. We want to thank Woz, Beres, your extended team, the volunteers that get involved in this event. Please make a lot of noise for this incredible man, and the achievement that his team have put together. 40 years is no easy feat. And we are extremely happy to say that we are going to be, of course, back here next year. We want to say a really special thank you to the community of Newcastle. We always feel so welcome here. The competitors love to perform in front of the crowds here. You are a sports mad city. We love you for it. We want to thank Merewether. We want to thank the Merewether Surf Riders Club. One of the most iconic clubs in this country. They won national titles. They've produced world champions. So thank you for making us feel right at home here and giving us your beautiful waves and line-up. And we also want to, again, thank you, the fans, for coming down here, rain, hail or shine, and getting behind our competitors and cheering them on to magic performances and history once again. To help us with the trophies today, we do have Kerry Eyre from Bioglan, She's the Bioglan executive, so please put your hands together for Kerry. We've got Tim Krakenthorpe back on stage, state member for Newcastle. Good to see you, Tim. Charlotte McCabe, acting Lord Mayor of Newcastle. Councillor Peter Winnie-Bartz. We have Will Hayden-Smith, WSL Director of Global Regional Tours, doing a fantastic job this week, Will. Fantastic calls. All right, it's time to hand out some trophies, and these are some of the most iconic trophies in the sport of surfing. And to help hand over the trophy for the men's runner-up is Tim Krakenthorpe, and this guy has been on a heater this year. He is the Challenger Series champion for 2026. He's a gold medalist. He's a two-time runner-up finisher here at SURFEST. Put your hands together for Kauli Vaast. Mate, what a magic run. Unbelievable stuff. An incredible run through this contest. You just kept ticking off huge achievements this year. You got yourself a second place finish. You had a win in Erasira, and you were so close to getting the victory that you so desperately sought. But I guess the ultimate goal was achieved. You've qualified for the championship tour, and you're the Challenger Series champion. How you feeling about all that?
Yeah, I feel amazing. Just want to thank everybody for this competition, because I start good like at the beginning of the year. It's such a good place. I really like the vibe here, and then I want to thank everybody that can like for this contest to exist. And yeah, it's amazing, and finish the year with a good result. I had a lot of emotion, a lot of stress during the whole event, just to confirm my qualification, and then try to go as first to be the first in the ranking on the Challenger Series, and then the next it was to win, of course. Another second place. Take it, and yeah, thank you everybody, and yeah, see you. I hope to come back here.
We've already seen you get a runner-up finish in a championship tour event back home in Tahiti. Kauli, we are so excited to watch you on the schedule, attacking as a full-time member of the championship tour. Congrats on another fantastic result here in Newcastle. We saw a lot of great stories unfolding at the event this year. Obviously, the stress that comes with defending a position at the top end of the Challenger ranks. We had people knocking on the door of the top 10 for the men, on the top 7 for the women. And then we had some wildcards come into the mix, and they had magic runs through this contest. One of the best we saw was from a young teenager surfing in just her second Challenger Series event, and finishing runner-up this year, Ziggy Aloha McKenzie. There it is. Wow, what an effort. An amazing run on the regional qualifying series. You'll be campaigning on the Challenger Series. This is just what you needed to get yourself ready. A big confidence-boosting result, second, and just your second Challenger Series event. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. None of this would have been possible without the support that I have, and I'm just so grateful. I've learnt so many things, and I'm excited for next year's Challenger.
Beautiful. I'm sure you're going to give it a good nudge. You're part of this next wave of talent on the women's side, charging towards that championship tour. It's going to be super competitive, but you've just reinforced to yourself that you've got what it takes to get there. So we wish you all the best. Anyone you want to thank in your team?
So many people I want to thank, but Adam, Jared, the whole Surfing Oz crew, my parents, my poppy, my siblings. And yeah, I'm just so grateful for everyone's support and backing, and can't wait to see where this has to take me.
Congratulations to Ziggy McKenzie, runner-up here at SURFEST. Thank you, Kerry from Bioglan, for passing on the trophy. Well, it's now time that we get to our champions. And, man, they are both so deserving in an event that dished up all kinds of conditions. We had huge waves. It was a nightmare out there at times, a real war of attrition, but they have gotten the job done. First up, on the men's side, taking out the Bioglan Newcastle SURFEST, presented by Bonsoy, Alister Reginato. And look at that. Does it get any better? The trophy being handed over by four-time world champion Mark Richards. Reggie, you have just put your name on one of the most iconic trophies in the sport. It's been won by world champions, and everyone that has won this event has gone on to the CT. Obviously, you're going to be campaigning on the Challenger Series, mate, but how's it feel getting your first win on the Challenger Series?
Yeah, it feels unreal. Stoked to get my name up here. There's a lot of really cool names on there, a lot of the boys and a lot of Aussie legends. So, yeah, I'm stoked to be up there.
Most definitely, mate. We know that you've been campaigning on the Challenger Series for some time. Your best results, 9th place finishes. You've had a number of them. And today, the first time that you've broken into a final series. You must have been sitting out there just dreaming big. But what was it like not being the guy cheering on his countrymen on the beach, but being the guy out in the water that people are fighting over who's going to carry you to the podium? What's that like?
Yeah, that's what we're chasing. That's why we do it. But, yeah, we've got so many good mates here down on the beach, and we're all cheering on each other. So sometimes it feels good being on the beach when you're not as nervous and it's less stressful. But, yeah, I'm stoked to be out there and just put a really good event together. And, yeah, hopefully I can do that all again next year.
Mate, obviously, you know, it's an individual sport, but a lot of people kind of come together and, you know, from the outset of your career, you know, back you to chase your dream down. Who are the people that you'd like to thank in this moment where you've just had the biggest win of your life?
Yeah, definitely my parents have been, unbelievable in supporting me. And there's a lot of other people at Lost Surfboards and all my sponsors from day dot. But, yeah, definitely my parents have backed me from day dot. So, yeah, big shout out to mum and dad.
All right, mate. I think the Sunshine Coast is probably lighting up about now. You want to send a warm shout out to everyone back home?
Yeah. Big shout out to the sunny coast and everyone from Queensland. Bleed maroon. So yeah, I'm stoked to be in New South Wales. But yeah, definitely a maroon's boy. But yeah, big shout out to everyone in the sunny coast. Have a few beers.
You're a popular winner there for a second. Just joking. We still love you. Put your hands together for him. The champion, his first ever Challenger Series win. The win of his career, winning the Mark Richards Trophy, Alister Reginato. And we'll call on Mark to present the winner's trophy. And this is a great story as well. Alyssa Spencer in her third effort to claim Challenger Series glory and get herself back onto the CT, has gotten the job done on her birthday, no less. Put your hands together. The champion of Bioglan Surfest, presented by Bonsoy, is none other than Alyssa Spencer from Encinitas, California. And Alyssa, much like the men's event, the honour roll for this contest, it is just packed with legends, and now your name is on there. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, it feels amazing. Every day when I was walking to go get my jersey, I was staring at that billboard that they have on the side there with all the past champions and just, you know, trying to dream up what it would feel like to be there. And I'm just so grateful to be standing here with this trophy right now.
Unbelievable. And talk to us about what it means to you to get back to that championship tour. Obviously, you know, it's been really hard to get back there. You've always featured at the top end of the Challenger Series ranks each and every season after getting knocked off the CT. But this year you just came in so composed in an event where you were pushed out of the top 7 for a moment. So how did you hold it all together?
Yeah, I feel like this year has definitely been a roller coaster for me. It didn't start out too great, and I had to pull it together in the last 2 events of the year. And coming here was definitely a lot of nerves and a lot of feelings going into every heat. But I worked really hard on, you know, preparing physically and mentally, and knowing that all the work was done, and all I had to do was show up and, you know, not be too nervous and fall on waves and surf smart heats. And I'm definitely really proud of what I put together.
It was an amazing effort, and to do it on your birthday, what a way to celebrate this occasion. 23 years of age now. Like I said, you know, this is an individual sport, but you know, you have a camp behind you that's backed you since day one. Why don't you give us a couple of names that have really helped you seal the deal here today?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, of course, my parents and my family. They've been my #1 supporters and helped me start this dream. And all of my sponsors and friends and family back at home. And yeah, just everyone who's been a part of my journey. And Chris Gallagher, he was also my coach this year. And he really helped me, you know, pull out my full potential in myself. And yeah, there's so many people that I'm just incredibly grateful for that have, you know, helped me along this journey.
Beautiful. Looking forward to getting into the nightlife here at Newcastle now that the contest is behind you?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have some fun and get a nice dinner, but yeah, I got to get on an early flight tomorrow morning, so I don't know how big we'll be going.
All right, I'll do some celebrating on your behalf. But put your hands together. Alyssa Spencer, you're champion of the Bioglan Newcastle SURFEST, presented by Bonsoy. We're going to have a trophy moment here, so we'll get our finalists to stand at the front of the stage. And as we throw it back to Kaipo for the Stone and Wood post show, I'm going to kick us off. I want you guys to come with me. Let's sing Alyssa Spencer, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
All right. Well, hey.
Thank you, Newcastle. We'll see you next year.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. All right. Well, that was an awards presentation, wasn't it? Congratulations, Alyssa Spencer, Alister Reginato, our champions here, celebrating 40 years of the Newcastle SURFEST. Richie, they're on a big list of some impressive names.
Oh man, the who's who of professional surfing live on the MR Trophy at SURFEST here. 40 years, man, and it's almost a guarantee that you are going to go on to a successful and have an illustrious career with a win here. So look at some of these names. You know, Tom Carroll. All of them, they've all won it, all the greats, Damien Hardman, MR, Barton Lynch, all of them. Taylor Knox even gets the win. So, yeah, it's incredible. Pam Burridge on the women's side. Obviously, Sally's won it a bunch as well. Yeah, it is one of those pinnacle events here in Australia.
Final thoughts, Jess, on the event?
I just loved it. I loved every single moment, really. I've had a great week. That's my final thoughts. I've just had a great week.
It's a great town. I mean, Newcastle, it's a great town. I truly enjoyed my time here. We're going to take a break right now from the post-show, but when we come back, you're going to want to stick around. We're going to preview the Championship Tour season. It's coming up, more on the Stone and Wood post-show.
Just went off. Bells are ringing here on the cliffs.
You ask any surfer, what event do you want to win? 90% of them will say, we want to ring that belt.
It's the only trophy I want. It's the only trophy I want to win.
Probably one of the most iconic trophies in all of surfing. I'm talking about the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach. That's going to be the start of the Championship Tour. We're nearing that start. There's been a lot of anticipation. Kaipo Guerrero, Richie Lovett, and Jess, the beginning of this season is going to be really exciting because we have a new cast of characters and we have some return characters as well that have qualified through this Challenger Series. Let's take a look at the list. Some rookies and some returners, Jess.
Oh, I'm so excited to see this. But when you think about Bells, you know, one person really standing out in particular for me. Two, actually, you know, Callum Robson, he's had a second place finish at Bells already. He's back on tour. And Morgs went on a crazy wildcard run last year, and he went on to, I believe it was a semi-final finish as well down at Bells. So those guys, now that they get a full run on the Championship Tour, you got to think they're going to be great at Bells Beach.
Love this cast of characters right here, Rich.
Yeah, it's a really good class of 2026, and out of the newcomers, there's two names that I'm really looking forward to. I think Kauli, because he's had experience already, he's going to be incredible on the tour. Oscar Berry, I think he's going to be a sleeper. I think he's going to come in with a lot of power and not too much expectation on his shoulders, so I think that'll serve him well. And, he might get up in a heat against Medina or something. He'll just be like, you know what, I'm just going to do my thing and see what happens. And I think he could do well. Obviously, Matthias Hurdy, he's had a couple of runs as well. So he's had that experience, and he's the full package too.
Yeah. My take, I think Kauli Vaast is going to do huge things on the Championship Tour this year. I can't wait to see what Kauli is going to bring. So that's my take on the men. Let's talk about the women and the qualifiers from the Challenger Series that we're going to see on the Championship Tour. A lot of talk. There's been a lot of action, and she's an exciting surfer. Tya Zebrowski is going to be on the big stage, Jess.
Oh, I cannot wait. I think she's going to be one of the best rookies we've ever seen on the championship tour, maybe the best. You know, she's just got the entire package, and she's come in on fire, you know, and she's not scared. I've been chatting to a couple of her coaches who've been getting to work with her around, you know, these events, and just chatting to how locked in she is and how ready she is for this. And she's just turned 15, you know, like I think Tya is going to be remarkable on the championship tour.
Yeah, and Rich, I think, you know, I like Alyssa Spencer coming back on tour. She's learned a lot in her time off of the championship tour. This is like Alyssa Spencer 2.0.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Alyssa Spencer 2.0. I think we're going to see Sally Fitzgibbons 2.0. There's a few of the women there that perhaps, and some of our European women didn't get a full run at it last time as well, because we had the cut. The dreaded cut. So this year we've gone to the full season, so everyone's going to get a full run at the whole tour. You can settle in, get your form going, get some rhythm happening, and it's going to be super exciting one to watch.
And speaking of the full tour, let's check out this explainer on the 2026 Championship Tour. It is a dreamy tour that we're going to be bringing to you at the World Surf League.
Celebrating 50 years of the World Tour. The 2026 World Surf League Championship Tour will include 12 events with a bigger women's roster than ever before. The tour will feature 9 regular season stops, followed by 2 postseason showdowns, and it all wraps up with a reimagined Pipe Masters. The CT will span 9 months and visit 9 countries. The lineup includes a range of wave types, from barreling reef breaks like Pipeline, Cloud Break, and Teahupo, to performance-oriented locations, Lower Trestles, Punta Roca, and Abu Dhabi. The schedule also features well-known stops like Snapper Rocks, Margaret River, Portugal, and Saquarema. New Zealand joins the tour as stop number 4 on the calendar, and it all kicks off at Bells Beach. The first 9 regular season events will include 36 men and 24 women. After that, the field will be reduced to 24 men and 16 women for the final 2 postseason events in Abu Dhabi and Portugal. Each surfer's top 7 results from the regular season will count towards postseason qualification. World titles will be based on each surfer's best 9 results across all 12 events. The 2026 season ends at Pipeline, where the full men's and women's rosters from the beginning of the season will compete. The Pipe Masters will carry extra weight of 15,000 points, 50% more than a regular event. The top 8 surfers in both divisions heading into Pipeline will receive advanced seeding, creating a high-stakes finish to determine the world champions. To watch the 2026 World Surf League Championship Tour, visit worldsurfleague.com and download the World Surf League app.
Now that's a tour. That is something to look forward to, surf fans. It's dreamy. It's the dream tour. Really is back, and I like how everything's really stacked up, especially at the beginning of the season. So we're gonna have like nonstop action for you at the World Surf League. Do you have a favorite event you're looking forward to, Jess?
I love Bells. I've loved watching Bells since I was a little girl, but I cannot lie, I'm really excited to see Raglan on tour this year. It's completely different to any other stop that we have, and Raglan's a really cool little town. I've been there a couple of times. It's super quirky, so I think having a left-hand point break, it's going to be really exciting.
I agree. What do you think, Rich?
Yeah, I agree. It's an incredible looking tour. I love the new format, start to finish. That's the tour that I competed on and I'm familiar with, and I think it's the best and fairest way to do it. In the performance waves, Snapper, always a favourite, but for me, the sentimental, trestles is one I can't go past. I just think that's where we see just that high performance surfing on display. And then, of course, out of the reef breaks, the heavy water waves, let's go back to Fiji. It's just so cool. But, I mean, really, every single one of these events has its own flavour and its own, special thing that it brings to the tour. It's a stacked tour this year, and I can't wait for it to unravel.
Yeah. By the way, Richie Lovett's won lower trestles. That's why he had one of those picks right there.
I was waiting for that. Thanks, mate.
Look at this, but look at this schedule. I mean, the variety, their epic breaks, and then remember, 1.5 points at the Pipe Masters, finishing at the Bonsoy. 15,000 up for grab right there. And that's when the advanced seeding is going to come into play with this new format. The top 8 men going into Pipeline will be seeded into the 4th round of competition.
Oh, my.
But you know what? We got to talk more about that format because we have an exciting new format, consequences to every heat head-to-head in competition. We're going to come back with that format explainer after this break on the Stone and Wood Post Show.
Celebrating 50 years of the World Tour, the 2026 World Surf League Championship Tour will include 12 events and updated bracket formats across the season. Non-elimination rounds have been removed, meaning every heat will carry direct consequences for rankings. The first 9 stops will feature 36 men and 24 women. The men's field will consist of 32 qualified surfers, 2 season wildcards, and 2 event wildcards. The women's field will include 21 qualified surfers, 2 season wildcards, and 1 event wildcard. Men's round 1 includes 4 head-to-head heats, consisting of the bottom 6 seeded surfers and 2 event wildcards. Seeds 33 through 36 will be randomly drawn into heats to vary matchups throughout the season. Seeds 29 through 32 will be pre-assigned to specific Round 1 heats. Round 2 features 16 heats, with the 4 winners from Round 1 joining the top 28 seeded surfers. The 4 winners from Round 1 will match up against the top 4 seeds in the event. Round 3 on follows a standard knockout format. Women's Round 1 includes 8 heats made up of the lowest 15 seeded surfers and 1 event wildcard. Round 2 features 8 heats, with the top 8 seeds competing against the Round 1 winners. Quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final will follow. To watch the 2026 World Surf League Championship Tour, visit worldsurfleague.com and download the World Surf League app.
Well, that is the new format, and towards the end we're going to expand on that new format. But Jess expanded women's field, and every match, every heat is going to be head-to-head and elimination from the very get-go.
Yeah, that kind of less pressure, a 3-man or 3-woman opening round heat, it's out of the way. So it's straight away we're on to, you're out. If you can't get it done in that heat, you're sent packing to the next event, and that's just adding even more pressure. If your heart couldn't take this week, mine couldn't either. We're on. we're going to hold on for a whole year of man on man, woman on woman. But just like you mentioned, Kaipo, just need to kind of appreciate the women's field expanding this year. We're going to see more women on the championship tour than we have in history, and I think that immediately puts a smile on my face because the women are just surfing out of their skin, and seeing it expand it's goosebumps.
Yeah, I agree with you. Richie, the cool thing is it's going to be a full bracketed, man-on-man, one-on-one competition. With that bracket, you can see every surfer's road to victory and who they're going to have to overcome.
Yeah, and that can be an advantage and a disadvantage all at the same time. And kind of think back to my own experiences. The night before you'd be sizing up your opponent because the heat draw would be done and you'd know exactly who you would get, and then you could sort of almost anticipate your path through the draw. So I like that. I think it's cool to bring that back in, and I also like that we're man on man, surfer on surfer, woman on woman. If you lose, you're out. So you got to step up, and you got to do this right from the start.
Yeah, gravity and consequence in each of the heat. And in addition to that, if that wasn't enough, we have 3 world champs, returning to the championship tour, holding 16 world titles altogether. Look who's back, Jess.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Steph Gilmore, Carissa Moore, Gabby Medina. I love that, you know, Carissa Moore, she's coming back with mum power. You know, her baby girl, she's coming on tour. So that's been, it's a real statement for Carissa to come back in that way. And then Steph and Gabby, they've taken a bit of a hiatus. Let's see what they bring back to the tour. I mean, this is so exciting. It doesn't really feel the same without them. And I'm really, really, really keen to see them back in the jersey.
I am too. What do you think? What do you think of having Carissa Moore back? Steph Gilmore, Gabe Medina.
Yeah, this is really cool. I actually spent a bit of time with Riss in Hawaii. I had a surf with her in January, and she was locked on, man. She was looking really, really good. I think, you know, almost having that sort of distraction of the family traveling with her. I don't think she's really going to be taking on any coaches. Maybe at each individual event, she might lean into some of the local experts. But for the most part, you know, it's Luke and Bub, and they're doing it, and she's going to go hard. So extra motivation there, something to prove. And then Medina, I don't know if you copped a whiff of his socials lately. Man, that dude looks incredibly fit.
Yeah.
And if he just starts to click in like he normally does, look out. He's back.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of equipment change potentially for Gabe Medina. You've got mom power with Carissa Moore, and then just the grace of Steph Gilmore at Bells, of all places. Yep. That's something to look forward to, Jess.
Oh, my gosh. I cannot wait, you know, and I feel like I've just started to be lucky enough to commentate championship tour events. I actually haven't done one yet with any of those guys. So to see them back in the jersey, imagine being a rookie and competing against those guys. This is just exactly what the tour, you know, you expect it to be.
Well, the tour starts at the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach, April 1st through the 11th. Watch at worldsurfleague.com, and that's where you're going to get all of your event updates. Well, now it's time for the Bioglan Daily Dose, where we go over top 5 moments of this entire event, starting at number 5, the wild card. The coolest name in surfing, Ziggy. Aloha, Jess.
Yeah, Ziggy, she just was that story that no one saw coming, and she just used her lightning fast whippy surfing here to overcome a lot of big names. Sol Aguirre, Ellie Harrison, went all the way through to the finals working with Adam Dulfner and got a very deserving second place finish.
Number 4, Kauli Vaast, the winner of the Challenger Series on the men's side.
Yeah, it sort of feels fitting, doesn't it? Kauli Vaast, the Olympian, and well, he has just been on a tear. Got second to the event at the start of the season, got second to the event at the closer of the season, and got the win in between. So made it all the way to the top of the Challenger Series and takes the number 1 position. On you, Kauli.
Powerful surfing by the French Tahitian, and a brilliant addition to the championship tour. Manuya. That means cheers in Tahitian. Coach Joan Deroux, part of that Heat IQ development. Number 3, it was a dream day, Jess, for Alister Reginato.
Yeah, Alfie. He just went on an incredible run and just was taking to the sky all day long. Big full rotations, a couple of really tweaked out air reverses, and one that I love, a big lofty straighty. You know, I really just enjoyed Alister giving us so much variety, something that we're not super used to seeing from him. And you can see everyone just so stoked on the beach. He is our champion here, and what a kind of moment to skyrocket him into this next upcoming Challenger Series season.
Aussie success all over the place at SurfEst. At the top of the heap, Alister Reginato.
I'm hoping the Aussie Cyclone, as that little tag starts to catch on a little bit at the Brazilian Storm, but we're coming.
Number two moment, Alyssa Spencer getting that winning feeling again.
Yeah, really cool story for Alyssa Spencer. She was inside the top 7 at the start of the event, then she dropped out and then valiantly surfed away back onto the tour and went all the way through to the final with just some really clean precision surfing through the event. And she's going to get another crack at the championship tour, and I think we're going to see a bigger and better Alyssa Spencer with more confidence and I think she's going to rattle some cages in 2026, getting the win there. And yeah, happy birthday, little birthday present.
Congratulations to Alyssa. And that leads up to our number one moment. Challenger Series, it's all about qualification, qualifying a couple of surfers here today. Lob being one of them.
Oh, Lobby back on tour. I'm so stoked about it. And in that, you know, we had a really big emotional moment with Mateus Hurdy earlier in the week. We get that with Anat Leilior here. This is such an incredible moment for her in her career. She really was such a standout over at Pipeline. So we get to see her take on that as a rookie on the championship tour.
Absolutely love all of this, and this is just the beginning. We have so much more on the way at the World Surf League. Final thoughts, Rich?
It was an amazing 40-year celebration of SurfFest.
Yes.
Thank you, Warren Smith, for having us. Thank you, Emma, you absolute legend. And thank you, Newcastle, for having us. It's just been incredible. I can't get over just how much this city embraces surfing. And, well, 2 weeks' time. We've got a couple of weeks to settle down, and then Bells Beach, here we come.
What do you think, Jess?
I agree. A big happy birthday to SurfFest. 40 years, that's such an achievement. And yeah, I just think the surfing, who qualified, it was a really awesome story. And to see everyone and the emotions and hang out with you guys all week, it really was just a lot of fun.
It's been great. And like I said, this is just the beginning. Tune in, World Surf League, April 1st. I'm not fooling. That's when the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach kicks off the championship tour. We're going to leave you with the event highlights and a good time. Thank you, Rich. Thank you. And thank you for watching. We'll catch you at Bells. Aloha.
Surfers wanting to get to that championship tour. The last step on the road to qualification has come.
I need some points. I know what I need, and I'm never going to give up.
Section.
I had a shot.
It looks like we've got a snapped leggy.
Snap off the top.
This is going to be an air show to strap yourselves in.
Reef Hazelwood up, always good for an air. Wow.
Yes! Someone has just lit a fire under this heat.
Feels good just to go big.
Oh, right in the kisser. Newcastle turning it on. And she's sharing this one.
Yes! Big frontside lofty one. That's why it's called the Challenger. Nothing coming easy. You got to earn that spot.
Anxiety is high as the dream of getting to the CT for some slips through their fingers. You can feel the pain here, and it's realised for others.
Kauli Vaast has qualified for the 2026 CT.
Now you can see how much it means.
Morgan Siblick is heading for the tour.
Oscar Berry qualified for the championship tour, straight into a shoey.
If you're not feeling at home watching this, check your pulse. This is unbelievably stressful.
Bring me oxygen.
Georgie Piertak, you have qualified.
I can't believe I've done it.
Callum Robson, you have qualified.
Congratulations to Luke Thompson.
Nadia Aristave qualified for the CT, folks.
Alyssa Spencer back on the championship tour. I have goosebumps.
He's got a big section. He'll take to the air. It's huge. It is huge. What is
Mateus
this?
Hurdy is on the championship tour.
The dream tour, my dream to be there since I was a little kid. It just feels like 6 years in one day. Like
Really intense quarterfinal heats to kick off the day. Disappointment is complete joy for another.
Big wave out the back.
Ellie Harrison losing her opportunity to qualify for the CT. 4.33 to start. The nut, Leilior is on the CT.
He ramps up.
Oh, Lucas Cassidy taking flight.
Liam O'Brien, you have qualified for the World Championship Tour.
Ziggy's in the final. Massive first turn here for Alyssa Spencer.
One of these women will be raising the trophy. Now let's meet our men's finalists. It's Alister Reginato and Kauli Vaast. Big backside snap here. There's your champion.
Here it is, the moment. Alyssa Spencer.
He takes off. He's going to finish in style. The crowd erupts here at Merewether.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.